Keep it Pyro.
Flip Left Radio Show. Special guest Graziella in the building.
Hey.
Thank you for
How's it
coming.
going?
Welcome.
No problem, man. Thanks for inviting me down.
Well, we should have probably done this for a while, but
Yeah.
you've got music out and stuff to talk about.
Yeah, finally, man.
Firstly, we'll get straight into what we've been talking about. Do you think there needs to be an International Women's Day?
Yeah, why not?
Why though?
I just think that anything, if you, like, I'm a believer in all sorts of celebrations, and I'm not saying that in some sort of, like, I don't know, childish manner. Like, you know, if I could, I would celebrate every religious holiday just because it's a representation of love and togetherness. You know, I just don't think I don't think that we should be anti on anything that's not anti, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Satanism and Scientology.
well, that's anti, innit? That's anti people.
No,
That's anti.
They don't feel like they're anti
So
though.
Scientologists ain't
let's not get into that.
They do. They kind of sit. They kind of have their.
Oh, no, you're
their
right, you're
sort
right.
Of,
Yeah, yeah.
Their sort of philosophy that is kind of based on, you know, things that don't work right for them. I mean, like, okay, women being beaten isn't something that is quite satanic, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, they should not be beaten, you know. There should be a celebration for women who feel that they should be liberated.
Yeah.
You know, there's no, like, I don't know, I don't think that kind of does go anywhere near Satanism or anything.
Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I was being devil's advocate.
You can be
Like you were saying,
you can be dismissive
Any
of what,
celebration in the world, I was thinking, okay, Satan. Scientology.
you can be dismissive of this one if you want. But do you not think maybe that some women might hijack the whole Women's Day as a way of just being anti-men?
Oh, we didn't even say that this whole time.
Oh yeah. Oh look, I'm
Not at
coming
all.
with it.
I don't think so. I think, again, it's just a celebration, you know, just like Christmas. It don't mean I hate on the Easter Bunny right now. Easter Bunny can
Back
just
up,
go,
Ashley.
you know, take his
Wait
eggs
till
and go
April.
somewhere else and stick him where the sun don't shine. I just think it's just like, you know, it's a day of celebration for people to remember that women are strong forces, you know, we're the bearer of life, we should be celebrated just as men. We should, you know, if you want to claim a man's day for feeling, you know, like underwhelmed by anything or underappreciated by anything, you know, then get your brothers together and try and fight for the cause. But right now, it's just, you know,
We don't need another trash Father's Day.
we don't need
Men's
it.
holidays are rubbish.
There is an International Men's Day apparently.
Yeah, man.
I know it's trash.
Why?
We don't need it.
Men's days are just trash. Days to celebrate men
them
are
men?
trash.
What about those guys that work so hard because, you know, they don't have spouses and they have to raise children and they don't have the ability to take time off work because they don't have, like, a paternal, you know, they don't have
But I
that
would just call them parents. Like it's not because they're men that they're in that situation.
Yeah, of course, and what the idea of feminism isn't like to just make women better than men. It is the
Definitely, yeah.
fight for women to just make it up here because we're down here
Yeah.
to make it equal.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the
yeah.
fight for equality, but we call it feminism because we're pushing
Yeah.
females. That's
Yeah.
all it is. But it's a fight for equality. And whereas men have to have that Father's Day due to be appreciated and, like, you know, and that paternalism needs to be celebrated too, is because women, they do get time off. They don't get that much time off in, like, say, in places like America, but men don't get time off. So if there's two
What, for,
gay dads, to raise children.
No,
Paternity
I think they're doing paternity leave for men. I think it is a
Is
thing.
it started now?
It's way shorter though.
Is that
It's way
started like
shorter.
from last year or something? Maybe.
It's
Sorry, I'm
very recent.
misinformed.
I only found out.
I wonder what brought that about. I wonder whether the feminist movement brought that about or whether it was more like an International Men's Day. Maybe because the whole feminism
think
thing
it
is
was
pushing
probably
equality. It
feminism.
might have been feminism that actually
Yeah.
pushed that agenda forward for men as well.
I can't see fathers for justice asking for paternity leave.
What?
Wait, no, they probably would.
That's what they
know.
do ask for that.
They
Don't
was
they?
outside Jeremy. He was outside Jeremy Corbyn's house causing trouble. He's the only one that's gonna get that type of thing for them.
So, do you identify as a feminist?
Yeah.
Do you-
100%.
At what stage did you decide that and why?
Probably from when I was quite young, man. I just kind of felt like, because for me, as a child, I broke barriers very, very quickly.
Okay.
My mum was in a very abusive relationship.
Okay.
And I never wanted that to touch me. I never
Yeah.
wanted that to come near. I never wanted to be in that kind of position. You know, I was very, very angry. I could have gone so many ways from it. but I chose to never let anyone F with me from that point on. You know, and to see my mom come out of it, there's heroes, there's heroines, and to see my sister, my family shine, you know, that was very much my inspiration, and gave me something to aspire to, you know, like, my mom did go through this very, very, very violent relationship, and you know, and still to this day, she'll talk to the guy that she was in a relationship. You know, he still comes to dinner, and he's been forgiven. You know why? Because I'm a god, I'm a hero, I am the, you know, the ruler and the saint of my life. And for me, I just kind of felt like no woman should ever have to go through that, and I never, and from that point I never did. You know, I was always the sister-in of the brethren. I was never the girl that was ogled. I don't know if I ever put myself in that position to be like that, but even if you do, you should have the choice to do what you want.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, for you to be ogled in that fashion is once again in that vein of sexism, you know, and that's in misogyny and shit. Sorry.
It's alright. Do you think that helped you when you like came along to get involved in hip hop as a woman?
Definitely, yeah, because I was like one girl with a 21 man crew. However, I didn't feel like I had to be a man to be in this crew. I felt I had to be smart. Because the boys were smart. The boys were rapping about, like, you guys were rapping about stuff. You guys were rapping about things that mattered. You know, you guys were saying stuff that was very sort of, you know, you were picturing your lifestyle, and making it very universal. People were really listening out for that. So I wanted to be a part. That's what I wanted to be a part of. I wanted to be a part of a religion in a way, you know, hip hop as a religion.
And especially in the early days, and probably the same now. The game's mad sexist, isn't it?
What?
The game is still mad sexist and misogynistic. Like right now, so I'm thinking back then it must have been madness.
But you know, it wasn't. I mean, maybe I need to like really sift through everyone's lyrics, but I never felt that. I never felt that when we were. Yeah, but okay, like I'm saying in the UK hip hop world, I'm not saying.
You know, I think she's right to a degree. Yeah,
I'm not saying in American, like everything that was idolized and glossified over in America to where I was a kid in college, like. I met all you guys, and I met like Underground Alliance, and we were doing shows, and the biggest thing about it was getting the shows and writing the rhymes, like, it was a community, it was a tribe. I found my tribe, you know, and it wasn't like female, male. I didn't feel less because I was I felt on high. I was one girl. No brothers ever ever tried anything bad with me unless I pushed forward to. You know what I mean? It was a brotherhood and a sistership, you know. I was a part of something that was, you know, more tribal than it was anything else. So I don't think that we had it in us to kind of cross over any lines, you know.
Were there any other strong female characters prevalent when you was in and around the movement that you was active with?
When we was younger, there was probably Michelle. She was
Michelle, yeah.
From what was it called?
I can't remember
fire demons.
Fire demons that might be. Fire demons. They're not Satanists. No, there's a few. Lost Soldier, wasn't she part of that whole movement?
She's still doing stuff as well, man. She's still rolling and stuff.
Bro, I remember Lost Soldier though.
Yeah. I done like some freestyle over a couple
and did you feel like a sistership with them, or did you feel like because you were females in a male-dominated environment, whether it was misogynistic or not, that's a different thing, but definitely male-dominated environment, did you feel that brought a stronger bond, or did it bring, and I always ask this, or did it bring conflict amongst you, like, I want to be the woman that shines?
Oh, no, definitely didn't do that. We all, you know, we were all like street fighters, innit? Everybody's got their different vitality. Like, I was probably like, you know, what's her name?
Chun-Li,
yeah. But then there was all that, you know, there was.
If you would have said Cammy, I wouldn't have rated you.
It's Chun-Li all the way.
I just forgot my China bun at home.
There we go.
But everybody just had their own move, you know. She was a different type of rapper to me. I didn't even rap at first. I was a singer, you know, and then I just enjoyed rapping because The guys made it just look. I say guys as in like a group, but like everybody made it feel like it was like something so fun to be a part of. So when I started rapping, it was just like a different story.
That's mad. I didn't even know that. I always remember you as a rapper.
Really?
I just remember you rapping, and then I think I can't remember when I saw you singing, and I think, oh, she's singing as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what? You never had no competition with other female rappers in the game?
There's competition between
Everyone.
human in the rap game. You know what I mean?
Is there camaraderie like as
There's camaraderie and there's
in
competition.
the whole of UK hip hop, like between the females?
I mean, I haven't taken it that far though, have I? I'm just kind of starting all up again. So back then it was, you know, you it's like a friendly competition. It's not bad. It's good. You should challenge each other. You know what I mean? You should try and want to be better than the next person that you're working next to, as well as elevate them. You know, it's a bit of a bipolar situation, but that's what you have to do. We've got each other. Like, I'm here on the radio station with you. Like, it helps me. I help you. Like,
of course.
You know what I mean? This is like a situation of one of those times, you know?
Yeah, I get that. I mean, just my presence here, it makes the other guys raise their game.
Especially with that shirt.
I appreciate the joke.
This is a running theme.
Hey, listen, we're gonna bring Antonio on and we're gonna have a big discussion about this next week.
So you've been a lot around in the industry for a long time. We mentioned Underground Alliance. You worked with Foreign Beggars.
Wait, before you do, Underground Alliance, yeah.
Underline.
I was thinking like they're really successful. They're really responsible for a bunch of successes. Like they don't get no credit. Like yourself, Scribe, Mooney. No, I'm joking. But there's a lot of people in that crew that went on to do other things. Like are you still in connection with them?
Yeah. Well, I saw Ed the other day. I think was it 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Just caught up with him quickly at the 22 Karma Rap Show
sick.
preview. And who else have I seen? No, like, you know how we they're kind of long distance cousins.
Alright, that was the Foreign Beggars album you're talking about. We all had guest lists for that and completely forgot to go. But
you did? No, you got to go to their next one.
The actual show.
That was near my birthday, so I was speaking to Orifice about that. Get some of that action, man.
His name is kind of misogynistic.
Orifice Volgatron. It's just whatever comes out of his mouth is like.
They got a mixtape called Bukaki Ski.
Yeah, my mum was like, when I left it on the kitchen table one time, and my mum was, darling, what is bukeke? I'm like, it's like some nasty Japanese spider. You don't even want to Google it.
Definitely don't Google it. That's mad. We're all on that mixtape as well. You're on that.
If your mum Googled it, she got a horrible surprise.
No, she didn't. She don't like spiders, so she left it where it was.
Good idea.
So, why has it taken this long for an official solo release from yourself?
Because I was gonna give music up. I think I was just like, I was going in and out of bands, you know, from the Foreign Beggars to Miss Frank I went on tour with DJ Vadim for like 1 year. Joined his band and then made another band, and we was like, you know, gonna be pushed by BBC Introducing and Mercury and all this stuff, and it was all like kind of happening, and then it happened and then it didn't happen, and then I realized I was spending a lot of time singing on music and rapping on music that I didn't really like. You know, like I was tired of working with beat builders, and I really wanted to work with producers, but they weren't at hand. So I was just like, I guess this is me. I'm gonna work in a clothes store for the rest of my life. I'm just gonna like give up music. I hit a low point, you know, and then I started working with this guy called Charlie. Charlie then called on James, who's my guitarist, who's here as well. He's just there. And they started working on some music.
James has got good hair.
Yeah, James has got good hair and a great smile. You'll see it in a bit. But so then I just decided to like start writing these tunes, and it was amazing, like what came out of it, and it was very soulful, and it was very like a part of me that I've never, you know, experienced before, and I really wanted to keep on doing it with that. However, when I was building it and doing it, people started getting their hands on it, and they were like, oh, this is going to be amazing. This is going to be like, we're going to sell this to the majors. We're just going to shop this straight away. So then these guys get involved, and then they shop it, and then it doesn't get picked up, and then people start saying I'm not commercial enough, and then people started saying I'm too commercial. So the independence was like nah, and the commercial labels were like nah, and then I just end up with this with this EP with like half a video, because everybody, they rebranded me and took me off, and because they wanted to get me remolded, and I've got like this half a video that I put some money into, and all of this stuff that I just had that just got dropped on my plate, and it just got left there. And for the whole last year I was kind of like, oh shit, do I have to quit again? I didn't really feel good. Rejection is futile, but it is also, it hurts. It's like you spend your time priming and proppering yourself to be part of this whole thing, and then all of a sudden you just ain't good enough, or you just not good enough this time, or are you just not their flavor? Like, what is it? And
well, we fully embrace you here, right? Yeah. Definitely no rejection.
Yay!
In this
But,
group hug.
yeah, in a minute. But I just decided to do this independently. I literally just woke up one day and was like, oh my God, F this. I'm just gonna put it out. I'm gonna distribute it myself. Go on DistroKid, I'm gonna distribute it myself. I'm gonna do this. And I worked with Charlie to get it all out there. We done it, we pushed it. And then I just did a video, and then I just edited the video, and I directed the video.
You edited it yourself?
Yeah, I just did everything. I just put everything that I could into it. Yeah. And then now it's just kind of rolling. And it's rolling slowly, but it's kind of like, I feel like maybe I wasn't supposed to bang. I was supposed to unfurl smoke and get in the room and then start choking people, because they can only breathe me in.
It's mad how as an artist you have to learn to do so many of them things. Our boy Awate was saying to us yesterday, if you ever need to hire anyone for a company, just hire a self-made rapper, because they know how to do everything. They've got loads of transferable skills.
When she was like, I edited it myself, I'm like, yo, she's such a rapper.
So tell us about the actual song itself. It's called Surrender. What's it about?
Well, I actually wrote this song about my boyfriend, who I'm with now.
Yeah.
But it was quite hard last when we were getting together. He didn't really want to be in a relationship, but I'm so like I need you, I'm such an addict. But he was going through his thing, and I was, I wasn't listening to that, and I wanted what I wanted. Then when he was just like, look, we're never gonna be together, I was like, fine, I surrender, and kind of wrote this song that's just like, I'm not gonna fight for you no more. I'm just gonna let you do your thing, because I've done my battling, I've done my bruising, I've had all this story. I don't want to cry anymore.
So did the song win him over?
Yeah. He was like, actually, this bitch can sing. Yeah.
How about the video? The video's out now. What was the thought behind the video?
Thoughts behind the video? I basically, one time, this time where I was about to give up music and stuff, I was going through like a madness in my mind. And I'm a spiritual character, spiritual person. And I went to go and get Reiki. And when I was doing this Reiki, like at the time, I was quite out of my head, not in the right place. So when she done the Reiki on me, she was like moving all my energy, and I really felt it. What's
Reiki?
Reiki is the massage of your aura. Like, she moves the bad energy, and then she takes the bad energy out, and she moves the good energy down and whatever. But this time she asked me to sit up, and so I was sitting down on this chair, and she like brought all this energy up, and I was kind of warping out, and like I was like trancing out, and I started to hallucinate. And I don't know if that was from anything before, but it was all part and parcel of the same thing. That she started moving this thing, and I started hyperventilating, and I felt like something's wrong. She's doing something crazy. This woman's crazy. She's like, but I couldn't move, and so I just started crying. And she was like, it's okay, this is normal, this is what happens. And then I just felt this black tar falling from my head, and I thought it felt warm. It was like hot. And I don't know if it was like my face, my muscles were like just moving in motion, and like felt like this pressure on my face, but it was just, along with my hallucinations and my trance-like state, and this place that she put me in, and I'm a believer in light and energy, so I'm really connected to it. So even if I created it myself, I released it myself. You know what I mean? And it was like this black light thick energy that just kind of slopped its way down and kind of fell off me, and I was crying, and I left, and I wanted to hug her, and she was like, no, don't touch me because I'm in a bubble. And then I left, and then I felt like normal and nothing ever happened.
She said don't touch me.
Yeah, because she does a lot of energy clearing for a lot of people, so she's not allowed to actually make contact with people.
Okay,
because
wow.
Did you still have the black tar on you when you went to touch her?
Yeah, no, that was gone. That kind of disintegrated.
Okay.
So you need to watch the video later because this kind of happens.
Yeah.
So
what, you recreated it in the video?
this.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
That's dope.
That sounds dope though. And I believe you. Swear down.
Yeah, I've had Reiki too, man.
Is it?
He said all
any experiences that interesting?
Okay. I'm gonna keep it brief. Yeah, but listening to that, I connected. Once I had Reiki, and it was so bad. No, it was like the experience was so bad. The next day, I was ill for 3 days. All I can say is I had what I would call a purge from my innards.
Wow.
Yeah, as in my system cleansed itself. I couldn't eat nothing for 3 days straight. I was in bed sick. I said
you was getting out some bad energies there, fam.
Yeah, I thought that it had made me ill and that it was really bad. And someone says sometimes in order to heal, you got to feel a little bit worse. But I genuinely was like really, really ill for 3 days.
Do you remember how you felt after those 3 days?
I feel like I am now spiritually lifted, man. I'm spiritually lifted and gifted, you know what I'm saying?
Lifted.
There we go, yeah. I felt a lot better than I did while I was in the bad state, put it that way. But it definitely did. It had a physical and psychological effect on me, no doubt.
Nice. Better education.
Loads today, innit? Loads in the first half.
What country's Reiki from? Okay, no.
Japan.
Too many questions. Okay.
It's a movement of energy, and it was just designed in Japan.
Samurais or ninjas?
Samurais or ninjas. Well, I don't know. I'm Filipino, so what do we do? I don't know if we have we got this thing called Tinickling.
You got a Manny Pacquiao?
Yeah, we got Manny Pacquiao. He's like the Spider-Man.
And Dave Chappelle's wife.
Spider-Man.
Were you the first rapper on the X Factor? I've always thought this.
If you could call it rapping, it was just some stuff that they kept on asking me to throw together. Because when I was going on the X Factor, the funny thing about it is that everybody had to pick 2 songs right from the beginning, and you don't go on TV until you've done like 4 or 5 meetings of producers, executive producers, and researchers or whatever, and you sing to them first. So the very first one you do, you're herded in like cattle. And my cousin was like saying to me, "Oh, like we got she put me through. She signed that thing for me, and I didn't want to go, and then she made me go. And I was like, I'm only going if I pass this whole crew. So she was like, well, how are you going to do that? I ran up to the front. I was like, I really need to go to the toilet. So I ran in, just grabbed a number and just sat down and was like, I'm not waiting all day for it. But then we ended up having to wait. No, that was the second time. Anyways, so you get into these telephone booths like that have one other person sitting in it, and they're like, okay, sing your song. And then you sing your song. And then you're supposed to like get your golden ticket or your red ticket. The red ticket is like, go home. Yeah. Golden ticket is like, go through Willy Wonka Factory. And then, but with me, she asked me to sing. And because my cousin filled it out and said all this stuff that I did, like I did work with Plan B and did work with this. They were like asking me for all my back history and shit. So I was like, and then they were like, and so you rap? And I was like,
wow.
Yeah. And they were like, well, can you give us a rap? And I was like, just kind of going for it, and they were like, okay, now you can go through to the next one. But they made me sing like something like,
really interesting.
Yeah, they made me sing like 8 songs instead of 2. I had to like just keep picking it up. They were like, that's not poppy enough. What have you, what else have you got? I was like, Erykah Badu, she's too soulful. What else have you got? And I'm like, Michael Jackson, and give us that.
But I always I always thought about that, just the rapping side of it. No one had really been accepted doing that. Yeah. So they were actually, the fact they're actually asking you is quite interesting, that they were seeing.
Yeah, they were seeing where they could probably take it.
Yeah. Or even with how now there's rappers in the charts every day, and it wasn't
like,
it was
now
starting.
It would have been massive if they did that. If they just did it for the first time now.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I haven't watched X Factor in many years.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is it still on?
I've got no idea.
It is. Oh.
What happened after you did the X Factor, for those who don't know, and got to the final shows? What happened with the group Miss Frank afterwards?
Just what happens, you don't know each other, you're strangers. Why all of a sudden you got to be best friends?
Yeah, for real.
So it just didn't work. Like I still talk to still talk to Shah Alexandra. She's like still a good friend of mine. She's, you know, she's kind of family, but we, you know, for the other girls it didn't really work out, not in a bad way, just like, you know, you got your people,
of course,
and it's like sometimes you're not people, but it's not in a bad way, because she's a very lovely girl, she's a very lovely person, but you know, we were talking cheese.
Well, they kind of put you together, and it was the first time they done that as well, so
yeah, but that's of what we know. You don't know what they've done.
But
that
on
whole
TV,
thing, that whole TV thing's scripted, man. They're
you know,
evil.
of course. But like, that's what that was the first group that we saw put together on X Factor on the TV show.
Like manufactured.
And then the next, they started doing it every year in One Direction and
Little Mix
there.
Yeah.
The girls
and what's the other one? The guys.
JLS.
Did they?
I don't think they put them
JLS was
together.
before
They was
us.
before, they was already a group.
All right. Well,
So
I'm saying.
what do you think about them groups and how they're put together? Is it?
I only know one.
No, I don't mean those groups specifically. I just mean like with the concept of putting groups together.
Well, the thing is, what
band.
they told us was that solo wise, first they told me image wise I wasn't going to make it, and they said that they even, like, when I even got into the X Factor house, they even Sunita, she said to me, "Oh, we've got you a treadmill, babe.
Oh wow.
So anytime you want to just use that, you know, don't worry about it. You can use it. We'll just shut the whole room off for you." And I was like, okay, all right. I'm not going to use it anyways.
Because Sunita looks so great.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you know, and then and it, for me, it was more image wise that I wouldn't have been able to make it, and you know, that's really bad. You know, that's really like degrading on one soul.
You're penger than Sunita.
Sunita's only just there because she's just a bracelet for what's that brother's name, Simon Cowell.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I know.
Anyway, I suppose moving back up to current times, what's the plan after this single? What's next?
Well, the EP, you know, we're gonna drop it. It's called Finally.
Oh, sick.
It was going to be called Finale because it was going to be all about a life that was gone and all love and lost and stuff, but just makes more sense to be called Finally because it's finally out. But yeah, we've got another single coming up, which, yeah, that will probably come to it when it comes to it. But the EP is coming up in June, so we're going to be dropping that.
Right,
with it being such a long process between and the journey that it took you to get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm going to put my work out now.
Yeah.
And having gone through that sort of, I'm going to quit. Oh no, let me get back on it. Oh, we're going to put it out this way. You've had a lot of ups and downs. It's been a long build up towards putting this out. How has it felt now that you've finally actually put something out to the public? Is there a big sense of, you know, joy, or is there a sense of, is it an anticlimax? What's the energy like?
It's
with that?
relief, and it's also fear, because I was saying this to Ebo from the Phone Beggars the other day. I was on the phone with him and he was like, I'm so proud of you, like, you know, the things that you're doing, you're finally doing it, you're taking control. And I was like to him, yeah, and it's really scary. I feel like a single mother. You know, I feel like I've just birthed this child and I've got no help and I've got no support and I've got nothing, and it's scary, but it's a relief. Like, you know, like, this is my life now. This is it. I'm gonna have to figure this out now. I'm gonna have to do this because this is all I've wanted to do. Like, and I've got to raise this EP. I've got to raise this EP into another album, another album, and let it go through its stages of life, because, you know, and I'm gonna do it alone because, you know, I started it alone, and I'll have to go on like that, you know.
I like that analogy, man. I think.
I guess this is more of a statement than a comment rather than a question, but maybe you should feel really proud about the fact that you're already considered and respected as an artist, and seen and you know, and this is the first project this first solo project you've actually put out. So in itself, that's a huge achievement, because there's many people trying to put work out now that are just looking to be respected as an artist, let alone take it any further. You've kind of already achieved that somehow without putting the work. So maybe that's something to reflect on and realize that's a huge achievement in itself. And then, gosh, we're all excited about what's to come in the future now, isn't it?
Where can people, where are people going to be able to find it? Where can they find you?
On all online stores, so Spotify and Google Play and Amazon Alexa.
Sick, man.
Just
Hard
all
copy?
of them, yeah. Hard copy, no, there's not going to be hard. It's just going to be digital distribution for now
That's
until
what it is now, isn't it?
till I work a little bit more and make a bit more money and put it back into it. I'm my own record label now, so you know, I just got to do everything myself. But as it goes like that, I have to work, save, put the money at work, save, put the money in work, save, put the money.
Keep it pyro.